Yes, sir. We are officially back. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize for the shitty audio quality in the beginning of my last live. I wish you guys would have told me sooner because that sounded horrendous. And I do hope I did not lose too many people because the audio quality was so bad. Obviously, I fixed it a few minutes in, but still, if people were coming to check me out for the first time, I can imagine that you did not want to stay. Anyway, Chris Smith, what is good, my man? Welcome. What's up, Majestic Nature? Good to see you guys again. Second live back. What's up, Phoenix? How you doing, buddy? Long time no see. I'm doing super good. I had an amazing leg session this morning. Already trained two clients as well on my coaching program, meaning my life coaching. And I've got a pretty exciting evening coming up, which I would love to expand upon, but until further notice, I'm not able to do so. Um, Life is good, man. The birds are chirping, spring is in the land, and per usual, this live session is for you and by you. So the idea is that you come in, you tell me whatever is on your mind, and I'll try my very best to offer some valuable input. I saw that your trip looked good. Yes, it was really good. Really good. It was eye opening to say the least. it's I've always said that before. Like the biggest advantage, the biggest plus of traveling is when you are in a rut, when you're stuck, and you need to uproot yourself and look at things from a different perspective. That's where traveling can really come in handy. And I basically realized on my travel that I was not happy with where I was at, what I was doing, and I've been home for about 3 weeks now, and I've been making some drastic changes. And I've planted some seeds 3 weeks ago, of which things are already beginning to blossom right now. And I hope I can tell you guys about that more quite soon. But I'm not gonna do so before things are actually certainly happening. I'm not gonna make that mistake. What's up, nature lover? How have you been? It's been a minute. I'm glad you were able to make it to this live. I'm thinking, should I turn on the other light? Is the lighting not that good, or is it fine? I think it's fine, right? I got like one dark side. I feel like it's symbolic of my personality, the light and the dark. Yeah. And if you look closely up top there, that is a little Lorenz. That little fucker right there. That's me. And if you look closely there, that's me, and that is Robbie Williams, the singer. I don't know if you guys know who Robbie Williams is. I'm loving angels instead. That's him. I ran into him in um, Gold's Gym in Hollywood. It was awesome. That was the highlight of my attempted life in Los Angeles. Not Robin Williams, Robbie Williams. Robin is the actor that committed suicide. That's a whole different person. He was also awesome, but I'm talking about Robbie, the singer. Right, yeah. So apparently, Robbie Williams is not that famous in the US. He is, however, a very big deal in Europe. He's British. And I mean, I think in most parts of the world. When I ran into him, I was like, dude, how come nobody's asking you for pictures and autographs? He's like, nobody knows me here. It's awesome. And that was, yeah, that was probably the most like the highlight of that whole 3 months in LA, running into him. It was pretty cool. Anywho, enough on Chris Knit. My son is trying to get into shape. What kind of foods would be good for him? He's 18. Well, first of all, like age is not that relevant as it pertains to what is a good diet. I would honestly advise him in the morning have oats with peanut butter and blueberries and some banana in there. That's a great breakfast. I would advise him to have chicken and rice for lunch if possible. Um, Pasta is also not that bad. Like pasta gets a bad rep, but I eat a lot of pasta. And then for dinner, and then also add a raw avocado to the chicken and rice. Always eat raw avocado with that. Um, get a tub of like half a kilo of yogurt that has like 50 grams of protein. We have yogurt that's called Skyr, Skyr. So it's like very high protein yogurt. It's a very easy way to hit your protein intake. And then for dinner, just like yeah, some fish, some pasta, and you're good. Bananas. Bananas is a great source of thorium, which is also very good for you. Um, and like I always just tell people, just don't if you just don't really drink and don't eat like candy and sugar stuff, then like you can just like and obviously don't have like junk food, but like then you can eat pretty much whatever you want. If you can just stay off the candy, stay off the chocolate stuff, and just stay off the alcohol, like just wholesome foods. That's what I advise people most of the time, and that's what works for me. Like my diet is, I mean, relatively clean, but not that clean. And it's just like if I don't drink, like in Belgium we have the habit, like we have beer often, and if I just don't do that, and I don't have like sugary stuff and like not and sodas, and you train hard, you're good. And tell him in terms of training, tell him to focus on the compound lifts, meaning tell him to focus on deadlifts, tell him to focus on incline bench press. I think that's better than um, flat bench press. And yeah, just make sure that your caloric intake is high enough. Too many people think they'll get in shape by starving themselves. It's not the way to go. Majestic. Now I remember it's Robbie Williams, right? Yeah, Robbie Williams. Look, good times, good times. He is an absolutely awesome artist and an awesome guy. Super nice guy. Really nice guy. I was pretty big back then. I was trying to just be as big as well, probably I'm bigger now, but it was different. And little did I know I was already having cancer for a second time in that picture. Like less than a month after that picture, I was getting chemo. Yo, weird looking back on it like that. Anywho, guys, we got 5 people in here. Whatever you guys want me to talk about, any question that you have in general, don't be shy, don't hesitate, just go for it. Luis Calirgos. Lately, I'm afraid of death. Months ago, I had an emergency problem and had to go to ER in the hospital. Afterwards, I checked afterwards and they said all was okay, but I'm afraid nonetheless. I mean, man, that's very normal. You had a scare, you had to go to the hospital, you probably thought you were gonna die. But honestly, look at it as a positive. You were introduced to the finity of life for the first time. Most people who never had a health scare, they go through life thinking they have some written guarantee, some non-existent promise that they'll make it and grow to be 100. That was me before I got sick. So obviously, I don't want you to be scared of death. I don't want you to be fixated on dying all the time. But it is good to be reminded of the fact that time is your most valuable equity, your most valuable currency. It's all that matters, tick tock. And it is running out. Now, that doesn't mean that you should live every day like it's your last. I think that's a silly perspective. But it should help you in terms of applying urgency in life, applying urgency in everything that you do. Don't just float through life. Don't just, make it, don't like make it happen. Understand that your time on this rock, this whole, you know, this ball of earth is very limited. So take it as a good thing. You're fine. You're not dying, but it was a good wake up call. You know. So honestly, realistically, right now there's nothing to be scared of. Like they told you that you're fine, you're good. Um, but let this be a reset. Peace, brother. Been through spiritual warfare. I've been recovering now lately, but not completely. I lost my life almost lost my eyesight and feeling in my arms. Damn. You better now, though? Shit. That sounds heavy. Majestic. I haven't went to school for a week, mostly because I'm sick, but I'm already well, and I just don't want to go back because they really drained me. I'm just pretty tired right now. Well, honestly, if you have the means to survive and to still recover and you're not forced to go back to work, then I would take it. Like, take your time and make sure that you're ready to go back. Don't rush back. Better now we stay strong like a pack of Aretha. Hmm. Amen, brother. Luis, thanks, Lycan. Yeah, the idea of existing finality is real. Thanks. I'll think on the positive. Yeah, Luis, like, dude, I'm telling you, man, you got to be grateful. Like you were taught a lesson, and life's most valuable lessons are life's most expensive lessons, and you pay for those lessons. Like I had to pay dearly for my lessons. I paid in cash, I paid in blood, in muscle tissue, in body parts, but I learned a lot from it. That's how it's a trade. You got to pay up. You can't, like, that's why I always tell people, like, you cannot expect to get wiser if you're not willing to pay for it. Like if you're gonna go through life and everything's gonna work out, you're not gonna learn shit. You're not gonna have to pay anything. So anytime something bad happens, understand that that is the price for the knowledge you'll obtain from that situation. And if you're not using that situation to your advantage to come to a greater understanding, then you are wasting that opportunity and you're wasting the price you paid. So don't let it be in vain. Really take it in, practice introspection, and understand that this was a wake up call for you to act on. Ham bone, I'm feeling old, ugly, and lonely. What do I do? Well, the lonely part you can fix. You can put yourself out there and try to meet other people. Get on a dating app. I use Bumble, 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 like a bumblebee. It's like Tinder, but for decent people, for grown-ups. It's not just about one-night stands. Put yourself out there. Get out there. Also, there's a website called meetup.com. It's meetup.com, and it basically shows you a list of meetup events close to you all across the world where people just come together to have to be friends. So you can control that. Now, the old and ugly part, Get in shape. Get in the gym. Start hiking in nature. You don't gotta start deadlifting, but you can go hike in nature. You can go run, perhaps, if your body allows you to. So if you're feeling that way, it's up to you to change that, turn that around. Nature lover. That's a great picture of you with Robbie Williams. I like your smile. Thank you very much, nature. I'm actually getting my teeth fixed. They're gonna saw some part of my teeth off. Yeah, I'm working on it. I know a lot of you are thinking like, well, why even bother with your teeth? Swimming is good. I'm gonna start swimming again. Good. Sound advice, Hambone. Well, that's why I'm here, buddy. Like at the end of the day, it's up to you. And I've been in a rut for the last 6 months. I've been feeling very lonely. I was very isolated, and at some point, I had to really look in the mirror and understand that the only person that was able to pull me up out of the mud would be me. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm right there with you, buddy. Majestic. I don't know how to fix my life because while I'm trying to fix it, my school has been giving me piles of schoolwork, and even the deadlines are short that I keep losing motivation to even fix my life. I mean, Majestic, honestly, I think if like fixing your life is a very broad concept, I think if you gotta take it step by step, don't try to swallow the cookie whole. You gotta break it down in pieces. So right now, if I were you, I would focus on school and advancing to the next grade and passing those tests and making those deadlines is gonna give you a feeling of gratification, of pride, and of productivity. And that feeling is going to aid you in becoming a better person and thus having a better life. So it's all connected. But right now, I would address the most urgent um, um, call to action, which is school. Luis, yeah, bro, sometimes we get into a context when we feel lonely, but we got to stay strong and start making changes that benefit as well. Stay strong, I feel you. Yeah, that's it. Like when life is going good, it's really easy to feel good. Like it's like when life is going bad, it's really hard to feel good. And it may sound super simplistic what I'm saying, but it's pretty deep if you think about it. Like it's kind of a play on the old saying, when it rains it pours. It's like a lot of people, they're doing great when they're up, and it's easy to be up, and like now I'm doing good, and I'm productive, and I'm this and that. Like, yeah, but show me how you can be when you're down. That's the true test of character. So that's when you really got to step up to the plate. How to get out of the Peter Pan syndrome and procrastination? Well, Peter Pan syndrome, that alludes that you are a young man who is unwilling to grow up. But why do you say that? Like, I feel like that's just like a word, that's just like a label to say something. But like, what is really the issue at hand? Like, you're not really Peter Pan, are you? So and who's telling you that you are a boy and not a man, and who's telling you that you're not mature enough? Society, or is it you? Like at the end of the day, it's not about changing that label, it's not about those words, it's really just about like finding a way to stay true to yourself and feel good about it. What are you procrastinating about? What is it that you want to do but you what is it that you feel like you want to do but you're unable to do? Tell me that. There is hand shampoo that can gain hair back naturally. Hmm. Okay. Hey guys, by the way, hit the thumbs up if you like these lives. It does make a big difference if you guys support the lives by hitting that thumb. I'm focusing on school. I also said I'll fix my life when the summer break. Yeah, but see, it doesn't work like that. Like I did that for a long time. I was like, I'll fix, I'll quit smoking then. I'll fix my life then. I'll like, no, like that's just a way for us to like put it off and continue in the same negative pattern that we're trying to escape. My health has been really bad. That doctor said my lungs have been having a problem. I'm struggling to breathe and it's scaring me, so I'm just confused. Well, there's nothing to be confused about. Like you gotta, well, if your lungs are not working properly, then you probably should address that first. There's no reason for confusion. You can't expect yourself to excel at school if your body's breaking down. So I would just like The most important thing is always health. Always. That always comes first. Keep the main thing. And the main thing is remaining healthy, taking care of this neat vehicle, taking care of the space shuttle that we call a body. All right, guys, let's step it up. We got 9 people, not enough questions. I like to be productive. I like to make these lives count. So whatever question you have, it doesn't even have to be a problem. It can be anything. It can be a question about me. If you have a question about me, go ahead. This is the moment. This is the time. I'm not gonna be on forever, but I do want to make my time on here count. So whatever you have in mind, go for it. I told my school, but they don't understand. So I'm on my own now, and I'm on. Okay, I told my school, but they don't understand. So I'm on my own now, I think. But so why? How come they don't understand if you're telling them that you're suffering from a physical inhibition? Then how can they just say we don't understand? Like I feel like you're only giving me part of the story. Like you have to really. You can't just act like you can't just expect things or people or institutions like to understand you or to like show empathy if you don't send a very clear signal. Are you clearly communicating? Are you telling them, hey, I can't properly breathe on a daily basis? Like, I don't see how there can be confusion about that. Are you still dating regularly? Um, my last date was, I think, almost like a month ago. I had some dates when I was traveling. Um, I hadn't dated in Belgium, and I mean, in general, I haven't really been dating at all in the last year. Yeah, I've been pretty much out of the game. The thing with me is at this point, like I'm 34, I'll be 35 in about a month and some spare change. Like I'm not by no means I'm not trying to say I'm old, but at the same time, I am at that point where the implications of me dating are go further than they would if I was still a little bit younger, meaning that right now, last thing I want to do is start a serious relationship and have energy and time go into that. Like I really just need to first get make some big changes myself and get my life sorted out the same way I'm trying to help my clients do. And then I can add somebody to that matrix that I've built up. Um, I'm not a big, I'm not a big supporter or the leader of seeing relationships as a solution or seeing that as the piece to the missing puzzle. Too many people they jump from relationship to relationship and they latch on it in like a parasite and they just expect that person to heal them. Like I see it all the time, both in men and women. And I just think that's a very unhealthy habit. I think, there's a lot of people who are just not able to be alone. They're not able to be single. And I think that's very bad. I think you need to learn how to be by yourself, figure stuff out by yourself. And then when things are going good, you can add somebody to that, join forces, and be like motherfucking Voltron and be even better. I see far too many people getting in relationships where they are either relying on help from the person they're dating, or they become the person that is lifting somebody constantly up out of the mud. I don't think that's healthy. I don't want to be in a relationship where 2 months in I'm lifting the person up or that person is lifting me up. Like that stuff comes later when you've already established that you're in love and that you like each other just based on, like each other's personality and physique. Um, I always say if it's too much work, it's not worth it in terms of relationships. I don't, I think there's too many people just constantly trying to force it and trying to make it work, and it's like, why are you pouring all this energy into this bottomless pit? Um, if you've been together for like 3, 4, 5 years, that's a different story. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that are just like addicted to drama and addicted to making it work. Also, if you have kids involved, again, different story. Please make it work. Do anything you can in your power to make it work for the kids and for yourself and whatever. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Wonder why people put so much importance on dating. It's a headache. I mean, I like dating, and I'm honestly, I think I'm pretty good at dating. Like anytime I do have a date, I feel like I'm good at presenting myself and making the person laugh. And I mean, I love dating, but it's just something that like it has to be the right time for it, and that's not always the case. That's what I think. Yo, bro, how is it being back from Costa Rica? Good, 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 good. Costa Rica was great, awesome. But the truth be told, Mexico City actually left a much bigger impression and impact on me. I know that sounds weird, but Costa Rica was awesome. It was great, but it was just like a very nice paradise type of place. But that's all it was, if that makes sense. By the way, dude, so many Swedish people in Costa Rica, man. I mean, it's a little, like honestly, Costa Rica is a little bit like Bali in South America. Way better, obviously, because you know I don't like Bali, but it's like because Costa Rica is one of the safest places in Central America. It does attract a lot of typical like young Western white rich kids that want to go and have an adventure, which is fine. Did you say Voltron? I have to look up what that is. Yeah, Voltron. It's like a comic book. It's like a robot. Like all these things come together and they form Voltron. It's like it's it's like it was like a metaphor. Problem is people want a sure thing. Life isn't a sure thing. Exactly. Bro, can I ask how many teeth do you have in your lower jaw? I think I got three. I got three left, and they gotta do all the mulling. How hot were the local women in Costa Rica? Um, Honestly, the Costa Rican women weren't entirely my thing. Mexican women, however, I did find more attractive. I mean, but then again, they come in all different types and shapes and sizes, so it's like that was more my type. Yeah, but Costa Rica people are amazing, though. They're really, really amazing people. Very pure, very good, nice. But yeah, I wasn't out there like scoping it out. Like I wasn't like a sex tourist trying to get laid. Um, so yeah, and most of the places I was at were also quite touristy. So I mean, most of the places in Costa Rica are quite touristy by design. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. It really is now or never. How do you like Belgium at the moment? That's a good question. Um, I mean, it's Belgium. It's my home country, my hometown. I'm staying at my family with my family right now, which is not. I don't intend on continuing doing that for much longer. But it's great. It's bittersweet. It's like on one hand, like just yesterday, my brother's kids were here, and so like the whole day I was spending not the whole day, but like I was spending time with my mom, my dad, and then there are two grandchildren who are the daughter and the son of my brother. And it's like that time is just invaluable. It's amazing. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to spend time with them and just like watching them grow up. It's family, man. It's, and they look up to me and their uncle, and it's just wonderful. Like, I cherish those moments. At the same time, no 34-year-old wants to be back to living with their parents. So this is obviously a pit stop for me to make, to regroup and to make a jump into a greater adventure, um, possibly very soon. Um, and just like me plotting and me saving up energy, time, money, ideas to like really make that next step. So I mean, it's great and Belgium. I love to hear it. At the same time, it's bittersweet. Like I also feel frustrated. I also get annoyed, and I also get hungry for more. But then again, at the same time, also I'm training like a absolute animal. Go check out my YouTube story. Like you can click on my icon, you can see the YouTube story I posted. Like you can see me training legs today. Like I'm just like in a really good shape, and I do appreciate that. And I definitely train my best when I'm out here. So, bro, did you get the COVID shot? I will never take it. Yeah, I did get it. I did, but good on you, man. You don't have to take it. Like I respect you not wanting to take it. Um, Majestic. How to have motivation when you don't feel like doing anything, but you want to do something productive? Find something that you actually enjoy doing. I think that if you don't have motivation, you haven't figured out what it is that you actually enjoy doing. Like it shouldn't be that hard to get motivated about something you're passionate about. Common goose. I wouldn't generally ask anybody for advice, but maybe I'll ask your opinion on something. Like, go ahead, man. Don't be shy now. I'm here. This is not a green screen. I'm live and direct, so do it now before I sign off. I'm turning 30 next year. Any advice? Yeah, stay alive. Don't die. What do you want me to say, buddy? 30 is just a number, man. Like, welcome to adulthood. In my opinion, people are not actually adults until they turn 30. Unpopular opinion, but I think it's the truth. I think the biggest mistake in society that we make is to bestow the label of adult on a person that turns 18. Current 18-year-olds, current 20-year-olds, current 25-year-olds are children, literal babies. And we like to act like they're not, but they are. So now you're turning 30, you'll actually be an adult. So good on you. Any upcoming surgeries? No, sir. I made the decision to halt that process indefinitely. So it is this mug is gonna be it. This mug is gonna be what's gonna carry me throughout the next couple of years. So let's see. I have been toying with the idea of a beard transplant, like get a beard transplanted on me, but it's not the time right now to do that. How hot was the hottest girl you ever talked to? Dude, what kind of question is that? Like, really hot, dude. Like, really hot. I mean, come on. And I got a bunch of videos on my channel, like from years ago, with a bunch of girls. So if you're really into it like that, I'll get dude. Go check out. I have a video called n- uh, "Vlogging Vlogging on a Nude Beach." I have a feeling you will like those girls. So go check out that one. Vlogging at a nude beach. Just put in vlogging a nude beach and Viking, and you'll find me. When are you moving out of your parents' house? No idea, man. No idea. That depends on the plans I'm working on right now and the seeds I'm planting. But I just got back from traveling a couple of weeks ago, so it's not gonna be tomorrow. That's for sure. Looks like a war wound. Your face tells a story. Appreciate that, Eternal Outlaw. That's nice of you to say. Will you show us the other picture? I can't see it on the shelf. You mean that one? I mean, wait, let me see if I can. Well, I got a badass picture for you guys. Hold up. This is harder than I thought. Yeah, okay. Well, can you see it? That's little me. standing next to an S-16, like a fighter jet. That was my communion picture. Little Viking, little Benzo. Uh, I really do like your smile. Thank you. There's a lot of beautiful girls in Belgium. They're not my type though. I'm not really into Belgian girls like that. I told you guys you thought right. I feel each winter gets harder. The fucking slush and darkness is just too much. Honestly, man, to me that indicates that you are just not passionate about what you're doing. Like, anytime I start focusing on the weather and how bad it is, it's when I don't have a purpose in life. When you're driven, when you wake up out of, when you jump up out of bed in the morning with a clear purpose, you don't care about the weather. So I would ask you, like, to me, that is not, that is not, that's just a symptom of a deeper underlying issue. Can't see you. What do you mean? I got a plan moving to Spain and spending the winters there. It's funny. I was talking to a friend about that. How we have that opportunity now with remote work. We can move to a warm country for the winters, and we think that that solves everything. But it's like usually it doesn't. Like I really do think we put too much stock in weather. I really do believe that. Vitamin D is important, my guy. Yeah, but you can supplement it. I take vitamin D daily. So, I mean, I'm not knocking your plan, man. Maybe you should get out of Sweden, but I don't think it's the weather issue. Like, again, if you are passionate and you are spending your time working on something that you love and that you have that you're feeling enthusiastic about, then I don't think you would really be sitting around talking about the weather. Um, Do you think humans are the most invasive species on the planet? I mean, I don't think that's up for debate. Clearly, do you know how the darkness is here? People become way different in summer, regardless of what they do. That's true, man. That's I know. I remember that in Sweden, everybody would lose their mind as soon as you guys had a little bit of sun in springtime. Um, but why don't you try to are you able to work remote? Because if you are, then you should maybe move to Spain for the winters. In the picture on the shelf, I can't see the pictures on the shelf. Well, the problem is they're a little bit. Well, I already showed you this one, right? So this is me and Robbie Williams, the singer, right? And then the other one is just like. Let me see if I can get it. Gotta be careful not to break it now. That's just a little me. That's a little me sitting next to my neighbor, my next door boy next door. Little, a little Lorenz, little rascal. Tutorial slave. Would you say that self-sabotaging behavior leans more towards self-hate, or is it an expression of pure boredom and the pursuit of sheep thrills? I think if you're self-sabotaging, it's because you feel like you deserve it. It's because it's coming from insecurity and a feeling of unworthiness. And I think that is you trying to prove to yourself that you are indeed unworthy. That's also the same reason why people who lack self love and who have deep rooted self hate and insecurity issues end up in abusive relationships because when they get beat up by their partner, when they get berated by their partner, when they get treated like shit by their partner, they're almost grateful in a subconscious sense because they're like confirming the idea they have of themselves because they think, this person sees that I'm not worth anything. And in the same way, people that end up that have those symptoms and they end up with somebody that treats them right, they get like annoyed deep down because it's like like they're expecting to be exposed and they get stressed out because they think the person that's treating them good is going to find out any day now that they're not worthy of being treated good. So they try to speed up that process by self sabotaging. Does that make sense? Do you like root beer? I prefer ginger beer actually. Is Robbie going to produce the next installment of the Bateman Project? Potentially, we're still in negotiations. I can't work remote, but I'll try to work towards it. That's what I'm doing right now. I try to make that long term plan work. Good. Just make sure that you're actually taking steps and you're not just convincing yourself of the fact that you're taking steps because you're sending out an email every other 3 months reminding your manager to one day sit down and talk about it. Common Goose. What is your idea of the good community? What values would be the norm? What sort of things would people cooperate with each other on? How does that contrast with communities as they are right now? I think a good community is a community where people support each other. There's no envy. People genuinely want to see each other do well. I think it's a community where people look out for each other. Um, I think it's a community where people are willing to share and uplift one another. At the same time, it's a community that is willing to act and stand up when people are overstepping boundaries, or who are or when they're not behaving well. Um, I mean, it's hard to dictate norms and values. It's very cultural dependent. I will say, however, I do like the norms and values that we have in Belgium. I do feel like we're a pretty correct people, and I don't feel like all cultures are like that. In my honest opinion, I lost my girlfriend to suicide a few years ago. Lost my soul and joy. Picked up gambling, and that became my joy. And now I'm facing a bad addiction that is can't seem to stop. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jordan. Honestly, the first thing you have to tackle is break the cycle of addiction. So seek professional help, man. Do it today. Really, don't put it off any longer. You're not gonna get your shit together until you break the cycle of addiction. You're not gonna be able to do that by yourself. So sign up to a program, check in a rehab, go join AA, whatever it needs to happen. You need to make that happen. So I think you're waiting on a sign, so let this be the sign. Let me talking to you from Belgium across the world, telling you that, let that be the sign. Let this be the Thursday, and then you can come back in a couple of weeks in this live session and be like, "Hey, man, I did it." It's up to you, man. But nobody can do it but you. Only you can take that first step. Put yourself in a position to change your life. I'm taking very concrete steps. Good stars on Mars. No one directly treats gambling in the U.S. Hard to find help. Jordan, but I saw there's like a gambling hotline, man. Because there's I listen to this podcast about basketball and they mention it all the time. Gambling. There's no way there's no institutions dealing with gambling addiction. Gambling addiction hotline. Here we go. Okay, so dude, I literally found this on a 2 second Google. I'm posting it right now in the chat box. Call that number. That's a national gambling helpline. Honestly, man, I think you're just making up excuses and you don't want to get help. So there goes your final excuse. Now you got to do it. That's the number. Call it right now. Get your ass out of this life and get on it. How's the gym hitting those PRs? Yeah, man, stronger than ever. Go check out my YouTube story. I just posted some leg training on there. Training's been awesome. Hello, my boyfriend, who is the first guy I truly loved, broke up with me and also said I'm his best friend. Should I keep him in my life or move on completely? Honestly, I think you can be friends again, but not now. I think you need to make a full separation because otherwise you're gonna be stuck in no man's land. You're still gonna love him. You're probably still gonna hook up with him every now and then, but you're not gonna be in a relationship anymore. So you really have to bite the bullet and move on now. And then maybe later on you can come back and be friends. But right now you need to think about you. All that stuff about staying friends. I did it with Katya, so I don't want to be a hypocrite. Like after we broke up, we remained very close. To this day, we're very close, but it wasn't easy. And I wouldn't advise it. Do as I say, not as I do. I would really recommend you to just like cut all contact for now. Like not cut all contact, but really take some serious distance. Stars on Mars. Wait, do you consider yourself a modern philosopher? Sure, why not? I always say like people that we worship in all these history books and stuff, they were also just people coming up with theories. So why not me? Why not you? I have stagnated, haven't gotten stronger in a long time. You need to lower the reps and up the weight, my man. Vinny, fear holds me back from living my best life. I want to be someone I'm proud of and live my life to the fullest. I get so much anxiety, overthink, and get nervous. How do I start? Well, you start by identifying what you're so scared of. What is this fear that is crippling you? Can you try and answer that for me? Can you try and identify that? Homesteader, do you use any nootropics to improve cognition and verbal fluency? If so, which ones? I use Cognance, but not that often, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. So I guess no. Best thing to improve cognition and verbal fluency is getting good sleep and not smoking weed. They had it for lottery players. Yeah, I've called them and I've banned myself from all US stars books. I'm speaking on more local treatments. There's one in VA that specifically treats gambling, but they don't accept my insurance. It's 9,000 a month for online treatment. God damn. I mean, Jordan, like it's hard to. I'm willing to offer my service. As you know, I offer a coaching service. So if you want to work with me and try to overcome this gambling issue, I will literally be on your ass every day, and I'll make you check in every day with me. So if you want to give that a go, you can send me an email at this email address, lorenz.dries@gmail.com. Aside from that, it's very hard for me to offer any other concrete steps that you can take if there's not an institution near you that can help you with that. But I do think you need somebody to help you hold you accountable. I think you need somebody to help you, like, you know, take it from day to day. Like, a lot of clients that have hired me or dealing with alcoholism, addiction, and they needed somebody to just basically check in with them every day. Like, all right, so how's your day going? Don't do it. Stick to the plan, and just need somebody to be there with them. So if you want to look into that, send me an email. What rep range are you in now for the gym? I've done 6 to 8 reps for years. Maybe time to switch it up. Oh well, I mean, then go higher, man. Like you just constantly have to switch it up and eat more food. I'm pretty sure you're under eating. If you're eating enough calories and you're going a little bit harder every single time, you're gonna grow. Common goose. Communities where sharing and mutual support are the norm sounds like a good thing to aspire to. How do you think communities like that can become more common? That's a good question, Common Goose. Um, Maybe if we can find a way to use the internet to find like-minded people and to actually put them together in a real life situation. Right now, you have these online communities that are just that online. Maybe through the metaverse, people will be able to kind of like join a community in the metaverse, aka the Matrix, and live a happy life there. Honestly, not something that I would prefer, but that does sound like that would be an option. Um, it's tough, man, because the world is becoming such a small place. So if word would get out about such a community, then others would want to infiltrate that community and be a part of it, and probably they would ruin it. So it's like it's I would advise you to just try and find a culture that clicks well and works well with your values. Why is the world so arrogant? I don't think the world is arrogant. I don't think that's an accurate statement. That's a very weird sentence, to be honest with you. How is your weed and alcohol use these days? Dude, you missed the last live, man. I went in depth on this. I am completely off the weed. 7 weeks already now. Um, Cold turkey, not smoking at all, and it's helping me a lot. Like it's really helping me. Like I said, I'm trying to take some big steps, make some big changes. I'm already doing them. And whenever you're trying to make a big change in your life, you really need all the energy that you can get. You need all the focus that you can get. And I would recommend anyone to get off of any type of recreational substance use. It's just like you need that fire, you need that energy, you need that rawness, you need that frustration, you need to experience and feel your full palette of emotions. You need to get basically annoyed and frustrated and angry to the point with your current situation to where you'll finally act. If you drink, if you smoke, you're just gonna sush it, throw a blanket on that fire, and you'll be like, it's not that bad. I'm chilling. That's what weed does. That's what alcohol does. I guess I'm scared of people's view on me. I'm pretty insecure about my looks. It cripples my confidence because I always relate my worth based on how other people perceive me. How do I stop caring? I mean, Vinny, you need to understand, man, like most of the people in the world are pretty damn average or quote unquote ugly. Like it's an illusion that we have all these hot motherfuckers walking around. Take a look at social media and then go outside and just like go to a busy street. Like go sit at a busy street for 30 minutes. Look at all the people. Like I'm telling you, 90% of the population is really not good looking. But we have convinced ourselves that they are because we've been brainwashed by commercials and media and TV. But that's like the 0.1% of the world. Like people, we are an ugly species. We just are. But we have somehow deluded ourselves to the point where we think that all those super hot people that are being paid to be in movies and videos and commercials, that they are the norm. Like once you understand that, like it's pretty easy to just stop worrying about it. Also, join the gym, buddy. Stop whining about your face or your hairline being fucked up. Like, dude, just get jacked. Like you cannot control your face, but you can control your body. That's on you. Get in shape, build muscle, and build confidence. Is seeing my senior dog's safeguarding as my end game a symptom of life fear or full blown depression in your opinion? I mean, yeah, safeguarding of dogs as your end game. That's pretty. That I would call that depression. That's not a life goal. That should not be your purpose. And I think you already know that. You just need me to tell you that. But I'm like a ventriloquist for you right now. Like you're feeding me that information so I can state the obvious and tell you like, the fuck are you doing, man? Common goose. In a good community, people should get a say in decisions to the extent that they're affected by those decisions. So if some decisions affects everyone, everyone gets a say. If it only affects me, then only I get a say. Sounds a little bit like communism, though. I get where you're coming from, but honestly, I don't. I think this is a pretty good example of when theory does not translate to practice. So it's a great. What's up, Yazid? Hey man, coach is in the building. Shout out to my coach, man, Yazid Zayu, incredible businessman, entrepreneur. He's like the Donald Trump of my hometown, man. Like real estate, all of that. Very inspiring young man, and showing people what is possible, and really somebody who is showing that you can do whatever you want if you're willing to work and grind. If you follow me on Instagram, he's the guy that I train with on Saturdays. we've been out of touch lately because I've been traveling and it's been winter and all that stuff. But I'll be back on the track with him real soon, man, and I'll be sure to post about it. Um, how close did cancer come to killing you? Pretty damn close. I remember I was driving around smoking a joint in my car, like just listening to Lil Wayne, and the song was "Me and My Drank." It's like up in the studio, me and my drink. You should check it out on YouTube. This like I love that song, but probably you guys are gonna hate it. So it's like Little Wayne, me and my drink. It's a tribute song to Pimp C and stuff, and it's like a sad song. And I was listening to that. It was like a full moon, and I was just crying and like driving around stoned and thinking like I'm really gonna fucking die. Like this is actually happening. That was in between me switching doctors and working with different surgeons. So I was like, I really thought that was it, and so did everybody else around me. Crazy time. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. What is a better value for decision making in a good community? Who should get to decide on things which affect everyone? Wise elders. Like we should find a way to put wise people that have experience and age and actually have a proven track record of wanting the best for society, and we should put them in power, kind of like the Romans did with philosophers and stuff. But then again, they also had shitty politicians. Um, but we should, yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like I don't really believe in democracy. I feel like democracy doesn't get anything done, and there's too many people who have a bad outlook on life, and they shouldn't necessarily have input on the decision making process. But then you're like, I also obviously don't want a tyranny. Um, so I guess democracy is the lesser of all evils. But ideally, we would have somebody that's just like a very intelligent person with a good heart and wants the best for everyone. Like I remember, like years ago, I thought Elon Musk was that person, and then like turned out that he wasn't. What's your greatest piece of advice you can give in life? Um, Less is more. You can apply that to anything. Um, put your health first. If something makes you uncomfortable, if something scares you, you should try to do it. Like run towards the fight. Embrace the fear and don't let it cripple you. What would you prefer to democracy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an impossible. Like if there was a better system in place, we would already be trying it right now. So I'm fully aware of that. If you had only one wish, what would it be? One wish. I wish that we could do a redistribution of power and finances throughout the world, and we could obtain some type of system where there's more equality in terms of like living standards. How can you say ego doesn't rule people? It does. I never said it doesn't. Absolutely. All right, guys, 59 minutes in. I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm gonna let you guys know. This is my email. Anybody who wants to hire me to coach them and have conversations like these privately, whatever you're trying to overcome, depression, anxiety, addiction, a breakup, a career switch, um, moving out of your country, email me. We can work together. You can hire me. I want to thank all of you for being here, for making this a great live. I appreciate all of you. And stay tuned for more live sessions. I intend on doing many more of these while I'm here for the moment, as long as I can. And that's basically it. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one and hit the thumb up if you haven't hit the thumb up yet. That's all, folks. Peace out.